Hey guys, and welcome back to Day Trading Recap, Day 31. So today we took one win and one loss. Our first trade of the day we took was basically off of just the S&P 500 giving us a reason to trade because honestly I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to find it. It was here? No, right here. Off this bullish closure right here at 941, that's when we entered on NASDAQ. Because as you can see, all of our confirmation gets hit. Break of structure, retracement, and then bullish closure out of it. And my stops were down here, which on NASDAQ, it was stupid having stops down there, and honestly taking the trade was stupid. It was just really an emotional, impatient trade that I took there. And what happens on this trade here, our stops aren't low enough. Stops should have been down here if we did want to trade on this. Then that would have been fine, because 0.95 isn't that bad. But what actually ends up happening is we have stops like just down here, and we get stopped out. And that's literally that for that trade. Then the next trade was actually a lot better, because what we had was break of structure, and boom, that's pretty much this is prime time trade time. Like the best time to trade is between 9:50 and 10:30, but you can trade outside of that in like some specific situations. Yeah, literally 9:53, perfect, right into trade time. What we get: break of structure, retracement into order block, and equilibrium right here. We just don't hit the fair value gap, but and then we get bullish closure out of that. But then this is still pretty good trade to take. So where I had my stops were just below these lows down here. My first take profit was right here, which honestly, this like the risk, like yeah, the risk is there. This is like as low as I could put my stops, which is good. But you could have your stops a little higher. I'm not gonna mess with that though. The only thing I'm like actually thinking about changing is if market just like even we took out an hourly draw from right here, or actually it might have been right here. We took out an hourly draw off this move up. So then this, like normally for me, this becomes my new target. But what I've noticed is that like price really, it'll hit it and then it'll just keep going higher. The only reason on last Monday it hit this point, or at least I think the only reason on last Monday price hit this point and then reversed, was because after we took out draws and liquidity to the upside, we just kind of chopped it up without getting a big reversal down, which then creates all the draws up here to target. Then we get a move down, and then it hits there, then we reverse. That's literally what happened. But here's different. We move up, immediately wick down. So maybe this is like some sort of difference here to make it, yeah, the same thing happened on that other day too. Maybe we can do that then. Maybe that is the key to solving the puzzle. The key to solving the puzzle. That would have been a lot like Wednesday's price. No, that was different. Okay, I'm just yapping here, but basically what we had: equilibrium, order block, cool, two confirmations get hit, bullish closure out of that. This was my first target. I took off most of my position here. It was about 150, and then up here I made my last like 120. I lost like two. This is break even because I lost 250 here, and then I only risked like 200 here. So like even if I did lose this, it would only be like a minimum, because ideally like you're risking anywhere between 250 like for my risk, because like what I normally have going into the day is $500. For my risk, I normally risk anywhere between, on my first trade, between $250 and $300, because you're supposed to win on the first trade, and then the second trade is just so like you can mitigate your losses and take a smaller loss, which is what ends up happening. But really, I shouldn't have taken this trade. But what I am at least glad about is that I was able to take the trade I wanted to take today. And honestly, you guys are probably looking at this like, well, why don't you hold all the way to these sides? Look at the risk all the way up at these sides. Like, these are honestly all my objectives. They all get hit. It's 11:53, bro. Like moves up to these highs were the move to catch, and then you're just staying in until like later. And honestly, what's annoying is Nasdaq was, or like what's interesting is Nasdaq was the worst pair to trade today. because it was the lagging index, and literally, and it ends up giving you a better risk to reward. And like Nasdaq literally is just so, or sorry, S&P 500 literally, after we get the second retracement and enter on Nasdaq, it's just so choppy. Then we get the profit, then we just chop it up some more. Then we're just barely hitting other profits. And that was weird because off of this, right, there's this high right here. S&P's already above that. And if you look at it over here on Nasdaq, whoa, that is really weird. If you look at it over here on Nasdaq, we are literally below this high. So that means Nasdaq is lagging, and the lagging index gives the better trade today. So maybe we're back with SMTs. I don't know though. Yeah, Nasdaq was definitely the lagging index, but last Tuesday that didn't play out. So maybe the lagging index is becoming better again, and we're going back to normal, which would be dope. Because that means more volatility. Maybe that is... No, we're going into September. I did like some random... Actually, no, bro. I want to go into like a Yap session, but I can't, bro. If you guys are watching this far, just let me know down in the comments below if you guys want me to do live trading recaps instead of just trade recaps after I take a trade. Anyways, though, I appreciate you guys for watching the video. That's going to do it for today. Subscribe if you want to see more trading recaps. And I will see you guys tomorrow for day trading recap day 32.